Welcome back to another Murdle mystery, ladies and gentlemen. In today's video, we're solving the case of Deductive Logico and the case of the fortune-telling card. This is a long reading. Deductive Logico received a letter in the mail. When Logico opened it, he recognized the handwriting of Inspector Irratino. I can't even read this one. Deductive Logico, there will be a murderer at a luxury, high-end, international rich people prison. Oh my goodness. That's too many titles of a location. And only you can solve it, because the suspects are murderers you have caught all week. Really? When Deductive Logico arrived at the luxury high-end international rich people prison, and I'm laughing because it's too much descriptions of the location, he discovered, to his amazement, that the victim of the murder was none other than Inspector Irratino himself. Surely this time he wasn't faking it. That would just be too much. Deductive Logico was determined to solve this case and avenge his old rival, antagonist, and friend. So now we have six suspects. We have President Amaranth, Father Mango, Sister Lapis, Uncle Midnight, Captain Slate, and Chef Aubergine. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but I'm going with it, since, my memories are fading. Not as fast, but, not as slow either. The weapons are a designer clothes, which is some sort of rope, exploding cufflinks, a deck of Merot cards, kind of like tarot cards, I believe. Some sort of shiv made from a Mount Blanc, a pair of golden handcuffs, and a bottle of toilet wine? What? Okay, this is getting ridiculous. So the rooms are the rooms are the rec room, the cafeteria, the guard tower, private suite, the spa, and the movie theater. I have a tickle in my throat. Not a whole lot, but it's just irritating. Each suspect brought one weapon to one location, but only one is a murderer today. Logico consulted his notebook and read everything he knew for sure. So let's see if there's evidence. So the evidence states that a deck of Merot cards was clearly used to commit the crime. So that is the murder weapon. Now we just gotta figure out the location and the suspect that did this thing. Excuse me. Whoever's in the cafeteria had a medium weapon. Whoever's in the cafeteria have a medium weight weapon. We don't know who that is, but we need to figure out the weapon. This is medium weight. This is lightweight. This is lightweight also. Lightweight. This is also medium weight. And so is this one. So we have 3 of the medium weights. But what we do know is that these 3 are not the weapons from the cafeteria, or used for that cafeteria. So there you go. Alright, so next up, a red drop was discovered by a video game console. So we gotta figure out the location. This is the rec room where you play video games. And what has a red drop on it? It's definitely not a pen. It has to be the bottle of toilet wine, and I don't understand why. Excuse me. I'm gonna skip that out because I'm not sure. But just because, I'm just going to go ahead and check mark this and then put an X on the one because they may not be in this room. I don't know why I'm saying that. I'll cross that out. I don't know what I was thinking, but you know, this is a very hard Murdle. I'm not saying it's hard, but it's very complicated. Every time I cough, my neck hurts or I'm having a headache. Chef Aubergine was childhood friends with the person who brought a pair of gold handcuffs. So, in other words, the chef did not have the handcuffs. Uncle Midnight was hanging around wet. So that means that he was in a room where it's wet. So it has to be the spa. It has to be the spa. In my opinion. Next up, we have an anonymous source that Logical Trusted passed him the message stating these words. And we're going to try to decode it, but as usual, the decoder ring does not work. So that means I have to copy and paste it on my notepad on the computer. Or should I say, laptop. Okay, so I managed to, excuse me, I managed to unscramble the words, and it says Sister Lapis, and I forgot to put an S on it, was seen hanging around in the guard tower. So, let's go ahead and find Sister Lapis, and she's at the guard tower. There we go. Excuse me, I had to clear my throat. Whoever has a shiv made from a Mount Blanc was left-handed. So we have to go to the suspect cards and figure out who is left-handed. Okay, so it's not the President Amaranth. Father Mangle is one of them. Sister Lapis isn't. Uncle Midnight is one of them. Captain Slate is one of them. The chef isn't. Alright, so what we do know, it's either Father Mango, Uncle Midnight, or Captain Slate. Either way, I don't know which one, unfortunately, so we're just going to have to continue forward. Alright, so Captain Slate was seen with the exploding cufflinks. Hold on, let me check what this look like. Okay, so she has the exploding cufflinks, but she does not have the shiv. So that crossed that out. Fingerprints was found of a rope of a designer clothes. So let's try to match it. Let's see who has that match. It's President Amaranth. It has to be President Amaranth. So President Amaranth has this. President Amaranth was seen at the private suite. Okay, that crossed that out. And now we gotta figure out who did it. Now, unfortunately, because this is a hard version of Murdle, this means I gotta use a hint. I really have to, I'm sorry. The forces of the ocular are telling that there was a designer rope closing somewhere in the private suite, which we already know that. I already know that. The golden handcuffs is somewhere in the cafeteria. So, we do now know that, let me see. We do now know that the medium weight weapon is the cafeteria. is in the cafeteria. The golden handcuffs. Okay, so what's next? The forces of Oculus are telling that bottle of toilet wine is somewhere in the rec room. Which, we already established that. It's technically the room where you play video games. What else that you could tell me? Sister Lapras was standing in the guard tower, which I already knew. No, I'm not making a, was it? Uncle Midnight was standing at the spa. Yes, we already knew that. I already knew that. Father Mango was standing at the cafeteria. So, this means that, let's see. So, he doesn't have the thing. Father Mango was standing at the cafeteria, but it didn't state if he has the weapon. The weapon that was in the cafeteria was the golden handcuffs. We don't know who has it yet. We know it's not the chef, it's not Captain Slate, and it's not President Amaranth. Alright, so the chef, Chef Aubergine, and it seems like they had a card in hand. So this could only mean that the chef has done it. So now I gotta figure out where. I gotta figure out where the chef did it at. Committed the crime. The exploding cufflinks is somewhere in the movie theater. So we know that the exploding cufflinks was at the movie theater. According to the hints. Then the shiv is made from a Mont Blanc. Is somewhere at the spa. So it takes place at the spa, which I could only assume that Uncle Midnight was there. Which means that Father Mango doesn't have that weapon. But who has the bottle of toilet wine? That's something that bothers me. This is the one thing that bothers me the most. Father Mango has the golden handcuffs. This means that Sister Lapis has the toilet wine for prison. I don't know why, but I'm not going to say anything. Because right now I'm just a person who has less to say. So the chef, wait a minute. Now this is confusing. The chef has the wine. Now this is starting to confuse me even more. This is starting to confuse me even more. Ladies and gentlemen, this mystery is confusing. The bottle of wine, the bottle of toilet wine, somewhere in the rec room. So somewhere in the rec room, the bottle of wine. Yeah, the bottle of wine was in the rec room. Now the problem is who is in the rec room. Captain Slate has the exploding cufflinks. I gotta pay attention to these hints. The chef seems... I see Chef Aubergine, and it seems like they have a bottle of wine in their hand. Because according to the hints, the chef has the wine, I think. I'm going to have to use a lot of hints to understand this, because I'm confused right now. This mystery got me so confused. I need to know... They gave me the same thing over and over again. Come on now. Okay, so the chef, and it seems like they have a card in the hand. So, what I'm looking for is someone who has the card in hand. Was it Sister Lapis all along? Was it Sister Lapis? I thought it was the chef. But it appears that the chef has the wine. And the cards are in the guard tower. So this means the private suite has the designer clothes that is like a rope thing. So, I wanted to make sure if Sister Lapis has the cards. Because I might have been mistaken, because otherwise I may get this mystery wrong. I've seen the other suspects the same height as Sister Lapis. So, whoever's the same height as Sister Lapis has the bottle of wine. So she is 5'2". The chef is 5'2". So that means that the chef has the bottle of wine, and while Sister Lapis has the cards. So, I'm going to make an accusation, and it's not going to be correct. Let's hope so. I'm quite surprised, even though I had to use so many hints just to figure this out because I was stumped. While Sister Lapis protested her innocence, she was nevertheless convicted again. Deductive Logico watched as they were transferred to a more secure and slightly nicer wing of the prison. Logico was not sure if this work was actually making any progress in the world, and Neil felt the loss of his now dead rival. But when he drove back home, Irratino was waiting for him on the step outside making sketches. Apparently, it was a test all along. And that concludes this mystery. It took about 45 minutes and 18 seconds just to figure this out. But that's only because I was stumped, because I thought that the chef has the cards, and it got very confusing. But the moral of the lesson, always pay attention to the hints and clues. And that's it for today's mystery. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.